Before we begin, subscribe and tell us in the comments where you are watching from, because the woman everyone ignored tonight is about to become impossible to forget. Blood slipped down Amara Lewis's wrist and darkened the white cuff of her maid's uniform. She pressed a folded napkin against the cut and kept walking. Across the ballroom, billionaire Nathan Cole's fiancée, Sloane Mercer, watched her coldly. Table 12 still has empty glasses, Sloane said. I need a first aid kit. You need to finish serving. The crystal shard in Amara's palm came from a champagne flute Sloane had knocked from her tray 10 minutes earlier. When Amara bent to clear the pieces, Sloane stepped on her fingers and whispered that accidents happened to servants who forgot their place. 200 guests filled the Cole estate for the engagement dinner, laughing beneath chandeliers while Amara's blood fell onto the marble. Nathan had not seen it. He stood near the stage greeting investors with his younger sister, Claire. Sloane moved closer. Smile. If anyone asks, you cut yourself in the kitchen. I didn't. Then perhaps you would rather explain why my grandmother's bracelet is missing. Amara's expression changed. Earlier, Sloane had ordered her into the bridal dressing room to adjust a locked jewelry case. Amara refused to touch it without the house manager present. 5 minutes later, the diamond bracelet vanished. If I leave, you'll accuse me, Amara said. If you remain, you keep bleeding. Why are you doing this? Because Nathan trusts you. He trusts me to run his household. He listens when you speak. That is called respect. To women like you, perhaps. Amara's deep brown face hardened. Sloane leaned close. Serve the next course. Amara lifted another tray. Pain shot through her arm, but she crossed the ballroom. At table 12, an elderly guest noticed the blood. My dear, you are hurt. I'm all right. You are not. Sloane appeared behind her. She is being dramatic. The guest stared at Sloane. She needs a doctor. She needs discipline. Nathan heard that. Amara took one more step. The tray slipped. Silver dishes crashed across the floor. Every conversation stopped. Amara swayed, then fell to one knee. Nathan reached her first. He saw the blood covering her hand. What happened? Sloane answered first. She broke a glass and refused safety procedure. Nathan looked at Amara. How long? 20 minutes. His face changed. You kept serving. Sloane folded her arms. She insisted. Amara looked at her. No. You threatened to accuse me of theft if I stopped. Gasps moved through the room. Sloane laughed. There it is. The performance. Nathan removed his jacket and wrapped it around Amara's hand. Call an ambulance. Sloane grabbed his arm. Nathan, not in front of the board. He pulled away. In front of everyone. Amara tried to stand. Her legs gave out. Nathan lifted her into his arms. The ballroom froze. Sloane's face went white. You cannot carry a maid through our engagement dinner. Nathan looked at the blood soaking his jacket. I am carrying an injured woman away from someone who forced her to work. You are humiliating me. You did that yourself. He started toward the doors. Then Sloane shouted, search her pockets. Nathan stopped. The bracelet, Sloane said. She was in my room. Amara raised her uninjured hand. Search me. You do not have to prove anything while bleeding, Nathan said. I want this finished. A female officer checked Amara's apron, pockets, and shoes. Nothing. Sloane's confidence flickered. Check his jacket. Everyone looked at Nathan. The officer opened the pocket of the jacket wrapped around Amara's hand. A diamond bracelet fell onto the floor. Shock swept through the ballroom. Sloane covered her mouth. I knew she had it. Amara stared at the bracelet. Nathan stared at Sloane. You told them to check my jacket. She could have slipped it inside. I put it on before entering the ballroom. Sloane hesitated. Claire picked up the bracelet. There is blood on the clasp. Amara looked closer. Not her blood. The stain was dark and dry. Claire turned the bracelet over. A tiny memory card had been taped beneath the central diamond. Sloane lunged for it. Nathan stepped back. What is on that card? Family recordings. Claire handed it to the technician beside the stage. Sloane shouted, "Do not play it." The ballroom screens flickered. A security video appeared. Sloane stood inside Nathan's study 3 nights earlier, opening his private safe. Beside her, the Cole family attorney held a document marked Emergency Medical Authority. Sloane's recorded voice filled the room. "Once Nathan collapses during the engagement dinner, I control every decision. Make sure the maid is blamed for whatever is in his glass." Nathan lowered Amara onto a sofa. Across the ballroom, his untouched champagne waited beside the stage. The attorney reached for it. Claire screamed. A masked server seized the glass and ran toward the kitchen. Amara saw the silver cufflink Sloane's father had worn all evening. She pointed. "That is not a server." The man removed his mask. Sloane's father stood beneath it, holding the poisoned glass. Every exit locked. Behind him, the ballroom vents opened, and a bitter chemical smell began spreading above the guests, proving the poisoned drink was only the first threat that night. He raised the drink toward Nathan and smiled. "No one leaves until the billionaire finishes his toast." The bitter smell spread through the ballroom as the vents hissed above the guests. Sloane's father, Gregory Mercer, held the poisoned champagne glass at shoulder height. "No one leaves until Nathan finishes his toast." Panic erupted. Guests pushed toward the locked doors while security rushed the ventilation controls. Nathan stood beside the sofa where Amara sat, his jacket wrapped around her bleeding hand. "What is in the air?" he demanded. Gregory smiled. "Enough to make everyone cooperative." Dr. Helena Ward covered her nose with a napkin. "It smells like a chloral compound. We have minutes before people begin losing consciousness." Sloane stared at her father. "You said only Nathan would be drugged. You were told what you needed to know." Nathan looked at her. "You knew about the glass." "I knew there would be a sedative. I did not know he planned this." Amara watched the ventilation grills. The mist drifted unevenly. The vents above the stage released more than those near the windows. "The system is pushing everyone toward one side," she said. Guests were retreating from the stage and gathering near the west wall. Amara looked at the marble beneath them. "The service tunnel is below that wall." Gregory's smile disappeared. A mechanical sound began under the floor. "Move them," Amara shouted. Security pulled guests toward the center as the marble split open. A steel platform rose carrying 6 armed men and 3 black medical cases. Gregory had used the gas to herd everyone into position for an ambush. One man pointed at Nathan. "Bring him to the platform." Amara saw the same silver cufflink on all 6 men. Mercer security. Sloane backed toward her father. "You brought your private team here?" Gregory grabbed her arm. "You will stand beside Nathan and complete the emergency authority transfer." "I am not signing anything." "You already did." He lifted the legal document. Sloane's signature appeared at the bottom. Her face drained of color. "That is not mine." The attorney avoided her eyes. Amara spoke quietly. "They planned to use you too." Gregory pointed at Nathan. "Drink." Nathan did not move. One guard opened a medical case containing restraints, syringes, and a portable cardiac monitor. Dr. Ward went pale. "They are preparing to declare him medically incapacitated." Claire stepped in front of her brother. "You will have to go through me." Gregory raised the glass toward her. "That can be arranged." Amara stood. Nathan looked at her injured hand. "Sit down." "Not while they are choosing who gets hurt next." She picked up a silver pitcher from the broken serving tray. Gregory laughed. "What will you do with one good hand?" "Serve." Amara hurled the pitcher into the chandelier's emergency sprinkler sensor. Water exploded from the ceiling. The chemical mist began falling from the air. The lights flickered, and the armed men lost sight of Nathan through the spray. Amara kicked the poisoned glass from Gregory's hand. It shattered across the floor. Nathan tackled the nearest guard. Claire pulled Sloane behind a table. Estate security rushed the platform while guests escaped through the kitchen corridor. Gregory ran toward the service tunnel. Amara caught his coat. He spun and struck her injured hand. Pain shot through her arm, but she held on until Nathan forced Gregory against the wall. "Where is the ventilation override?" Nathan demanded. Gregory laughed. "You stopped the gas. You did not stop the transfer." Every ballroom screen changed. Emergency medical authority activated. Nathan's name appeared above a 12-minute countdown. The attorney looked horrified. The system only needs biometric evidence that he is unstable. A camera replayed Nathan tackling the guard, but the footage had been edited to remove the weapon. On screen, Nathan appeared to attack an unarmed employee. Sloane stared at it. "My father is creating a public breakdown." By midnight, Gregory said, the board will see an irrational billionaire surrounded by injured guests. Amara looked at the bracelet's memory card in Claire's hand. "There may be more files." Claire inserted it again. A hidden folder opened, revealing a live map of the estate. Nathan's private medical suite flashed red. A second video appeared. Inside the suite, Nathan's mother lay unconscious beneath a cardiac monitor. A nurse adjusted her bag. Amara recognized her. "That woman trained me when I came here." Sloane whispered, "Marisol." The nurse removed her wig. She was Amara's older sister, Lena, who had disappeared 7 years earlier. Lena held up a handwritten message. "Do not trust Claire." Her expression had changed completely. The frightened sister who had protected Nathan moments earlier was gone. In her place stood a calm woman watching the countdown as though every second belonged to her. Amara slowly turned. Claire was no longer beside the table. She stood behind Nathan with a syringe pressed against his neck. Claire pressed the syringe against Nathan's neck. "Everyone stays where they are." Amara stared at her. "You warned us not to trust you." Claire's expression did not change. "No. Lena warned you." Nathan stood still. "What is in the syringe?" "The same compound Gregory planned to use, only cleaner. 1 injection and every doctor here will confirm a neurological crisis." Gregory laughed beneath Nathan's grip. "You were always more ambitious than your brother." Claire looked at him. "You nearly ruined everything with the gas." Sloane stepped backward. "You two were working together?" "Not together," Claire said. "Around each other." The countdown showed 10 minutes. Emergency medical authority would transfer if Nathan appeared incapacitated before it ended. Amara looked toward the medical suite feed. Lena still stood beside Nathan's unconscious mother, holding the warning sign. "Why is my sister helping you?" "She isn't." Claire glanced at the screen. "She spent 7 years trying to get close enough to destroy our evidence." Lena tapped the cardiac monitor twice. A second message appeared. "The bag contains the real antidote." Amara understood. Lena had not drugged Nathan's mother. She had replaced the poison before the Mercer team arrived. Claire noticed Amara looking. She pushed the syringe harder. "Stop reading the screen." Nathan's voice stayed calm. "You forged the footage. I preserved the company. You framed me as unstable. You were going to sell the medical division and expose every trial our father funded." Nathan looked at Claire. "Our father died before those trials began." Claire smiled. "That is what Mother told you." The ballroom fell silent. Gregory's confidence returned. "He is alive." Nathan's grip loosened. Gregory drove an elbow into his ribs and broke free. Claire pulled Nathan against her. 8 minutes. "When the authority transfers, I become acting chair. Gregory gets the patents. Sloane gets nothing." Sloane stared at her father. "You promised me control." "You were useful because Nathan trusted you," Gregory said. Amara saw Sloane's fear turn into rage. Sloane grabbed the broken champagne bottle and moved toward Gregory. Claire shouted, "Drop it." Amara used the distraction. She seized Claire's wrist with her uninjured hand and forced the syringe away from Nathan. Claire twisted violently. The needle tore through Amara's sleeve and scratched her shoulder. Dr. Ward shouted, "Did it break the skin?" "A little." Claire smiled. "Then she has 6 minutes before she collapses." Nathan tackled Claire. The syringe slid beneath a table. Amora's vision blurred. Nathan reached for her. Stay with me. The antidote is upstairs. The medical suite is sealed. Lena's face appeared closer to the camera. She held up a keycard and pointed toward the service lift. Amara remembered the steel platform beneath the ballroom. It connects to the medical floor. Grant's guards forced the platform controls open. The lift required executive approval. Claire laughed from the floor. Only I can authorize it. Sloane stepped forward. No. The engagement contract gave me temporary household access. She pressed her thumb to the scanner. The platform activated. Nathan, Amara, Sloane, and Dr. Ward descended while security restrained Claire and Gregory. The timer showed 5 minutes. At the medical floor, the doors opened onto darkness. Lena waited beside Nathan's mother with the antidote bag. Amara stumbled toward her. Lena embraced her, then checked the scratch. You were barely exposed. She drew blue liquid from the bag and injected Amara. The dizziness faded. Nathan knelt beside his mother. Mom, can you hear me? Her eyes opened. Claire found him, she whispered. Who? Your father. A monitor on the wall turned on. An older man sat inside Nathan's private boardroom, connected to oxygen but still alive. Nathan went white. Dad. The man looked into the camera. Son, your sister is not trying to steal your company. Behind him, Claire appeared on a second feed, no longer restrained. She had escaped through the ballroom tunnel. Nathan's father continued. She is trying to stop Lena from exposing what your mother did. Everyone turned toward Lena. The timer showed 3 minutes. Then Nathan's mother ripped the line from her arm and pointed at Amora's sister. That woman killed your father once, she said. Tonight, she came back to finish the job. Nathan's mother pointed at Lena with a trembling hand. That woman killed your father once. Tonight, she came back to finish the job. Lena did not step away from Amara. You told Nathan he died. Now you say he survived my attack. Which lie should he believe? Nathan looked at the boardroom screen. His father, Arthur Cole, sat beneath an oxygen mask, thin and weak. Dad, what happened? Arthur lifted one shaking hand. Your mother and Claire hid me after the clinical trials failed. Lena discovered patients were being poisoned, so they framed her and forced her to disappear. Nathan's mother, Evelyn, tore the monitor leads from her chest. He is confused. The drugs damaged his memory. Arthur's voice sharpened. My memory is why you kept me sedated for 7 years. 2 minutes remained. Emergency medical authority pending. Claire appeared beside Arthur, holding a tablet connected to the board system. I found Dad 6 months ago, she said. I planned to expose Mother and Gregory, but Lena wanted every Hale Biotech patent frozen. I wanted the illegal trial patents stopped before more people were hurt, Lena replied. Evelyn pointed toward the bag. She poisoned it. Dr. Ward tested it. This is an antidote. Nothing else. Amara stared at Evelyn. You knew my sister was innocent. I knew she had evidence that could destroy this family. And you let us believe she was dead. I protected my children. Nathan stepped between them. You protected a company. The doors locked. Claire's voice came through the speakers. Nathan, Mother has a second trigger. If the countdown reaches 0 while she remains registered as impaired, control transfers to her. Evelyn smiled. The monitor beside her changed from patient to executive beneficiary. You staged your collapse, Nathan said. Someone had to keep this empire from falling into your hands. The countdown reached 90 seconds. Evelyn grabbed the antidote case and threw it against the wall. Glass shattered across the floor. Then she pulled a remote from beneath her blanket. Claire may have found Arthur, but I still control the laboratory doors. Steel shutters began closing around Arthur's boardroom. Claire tried to hold one open. If that room seals, his oxygen stops, Lena said. Nathan reached the control panel. It requested 2 approvals. Primary air. Medical witness. Nathan pressed his thumb to the first scanner. Primary air verified. Dr. Ward tried the second. Access denied. Evelyn laughed. The witness is not a doctor. Amara remembered the dried blood on the bracelet clasp. Who wore that bracelet before Sloane planted it? Lena answered. I did. She had hidden the memory card beneath it after copying the trial records. The system recognizes my sister, Amara said. Lena pressed her thumb to the scanner. Medical witness verified. The boardroom shutters stopped inches above the floor. Arthur's oxygen remained active. The countdown froze at 41 seconds. Evelyn raised the remote. You still need my executive code. Amara noticed its green light pulsed with the monitor. The code isn't inside the remote. The monitor is transmitting it. She tore the cable from the wall. The screen went dark. Claire's tablet displayed. Transfer failed. Evelyn lunged toward Amara. Nathan caught his mother. You forced an injured woman to keep serving so you could plant evidence on her. Evelyn glared at Sloane, who entered behind security officers. That was Sloane's idea. No, Sloane said. You told me Amara had to remain visible until Nathan drank the champagne. Gregory and Claire were brought in. Claire looked toward her father's feed. I escaped because Gregory's men opened the tunnel. I was trying to reach Dad before Mother sealed him in. Nathan faced her. You put a syringe against my neck. It contained saline. Dr. Ward tested the recovered syringe. She is telling the truth. Claire's voice broke. I needed Gregory to believe I was completing the plan. You could have told me. You trusted Sloane, Mother, and every executive who signed those reports. You never listened when I questioned them. Nathan had no answer. Lena stepped toward the camera. Arthur, tell them who authorized the trials. Arthur removed his oxygen mask. I did. Silence followed. I approved the first phase because Gregory promised the drug would save lives. When patients began dying, Evelyn convinced me to hide the results until we repaired the formula. Nathan looked devastated. So all of you knew. Lena tried to stop us. Claire found the reports. Your mother ordered security to remove them both. Evelyn shouted, I kept this family alive. Amara looked at her. No. You kept the family name alive. Everyone inside it was disposable. Federal agents entered the medical floor. The memory card had uploaded Lena's records to investigators. Gregory Mercer was charged with attempted murder, kidnapping, conspiracy, and financing illegal medical trials. Evelyn faced charges for false imprisonment, evidence destruction, fraud, and attempting to poison hundreds of guests. Arthur surrendered control of Hale Biotech and agreed to testify. Claire received protection after investigators confirmed she had preserved patient files, though Nathan did not excuse the fear she caused. Sloane was arrested for assaulting Amara, planting the bracelet, framing her for theft, and helping activate the forced transfer. Before police led her away, she looked at Nathan. You carried her out in front of everyone. Nathan glanced at Amara's bandaged hand. You forced her to bleed in front of everyone. Sloane turned to Amara. You ruined my life. No, Amara said. I stopped serving the lie you built it on. Lena's name was cleared after 7 years. She reunited with Amara slowly, through tears, anger, and conversations lasting until morning. Evelyn had stolen birthdays, funerals, and every ordinary day the sisters should have shared. Amara refused to pretend those years could be repaired quickly. But she also refused to lose another one. Hale Biotech was placed under independent supervision. Every illegal trial was reopened, victims received compensation, and the medical division became a public benefit trust controlled by patients, nurses, and researchers. Nathan stepped down during the investigation. When he returned months later, he offered Amara a place on the new Worker Safety Council. She accepted only after the employees elected her. 6 months after the engagement dinner, the Cole Ballroom reopened. Amara requested that one blood-stained section of marble remain beneath glass. A plaque beside it read, "No job requires silence in the face of abuse." Former trial patients filled the room for the trust's first public meeting. Lena stood beside Amara, no longer hiding behind a nurse's uniform. Afterward, Nathan approached. I carried you away that night because I thought you needed saving. I needed medical care. He smiled. And courage. I brought my own. Would you have dinner with me? Amara looked toward Lena, who gave an amused smile. One dinner. No ballroom. No fiancés. Agreed. They walked toward the open doors. The story spread as the night a billionaire carried a bleeding Maid away from his engagement. Amara remembered it differently. It was the night she stopped carrying everyone else's secrets. The people who treated her pain as invisible were finally forced to see it. And being carried away had not made her weak. It gave her enough strength to return standing.